Back in an Anderson Student Center corner, you can find one brand of St. Thomas Harmony, the Showed Up Band. In the middle, the youngster, Mark Neuzil, seeking every last drop of music.
Got it all out.
Just like he lives.
It's a well-rounded relationship that he has with his students.
So now look at this again. Tom, I'm counting on you.
Every time I think I know something about him or enough about him, I'll find out something and they're like, you do that too?
Okay, walk it towards me, girls.
Builds canoes, builds instruments, fishes, hunts, writes books.
In she goes.
In his St. Paul garage turned wood shop, Neuzil's own brands of harmony.
The white cedar is from the blowdown in 1999 in the Boundary Waters.
A homemade canoe with 9 different kinds of wood reflects his love of nature and eye for detail.
Do we need to do the gunnel step?
You know, I can see that on the inside we're missing a couple spots. See
A classroom of sorts where daughters Maria and Elena learn from a dad who relishes solving problems.
My teaching method is trial and error. They try, they make a mistake, and then we try again. But that's how I learn too.
Always teaching and exceptional at it.
I know it's a big honor. I mean, I've seen the wall of Professors of the Year before in the Student Center.
St. Thomas's 2013 Professor of the Year, Dr. Mark Neuzil, who seeks potential.
It's very similar to doing some kind of a project in wood or any other materials where you start from a tree and you end up as a table.
Neuzil's teaching roots can be found in his days as a working journalist, including jobs at the Associated Press and the Star Tribune. He still freelances.
I'm proud to know that he is helping raise the next generation of journalists because we need young people who are ethical and smart and conscientious.
I want people who are curious. I will help you be a reporter. I'll help you be a journalist. If you have a natural curiosity, this is going to work out.
Neuzil's curiosity, his desire to better report about the environment.
So we have nature and we have spirituality.
Led to his master's and doctorate from the University of Minnesota and eventually his job of planting seeds at St. Thomas.
I'll be damned if Tom Connery didn't call me on a Saturday morning and say, you want to come work for us? And to be honest with you, I thought he was offering me a job as an adjunct.
These days, Neuzil's teaching is really a blend of his background. That natural curiosity
Oh, there's one left up there. Look at that.
shows in, you guessed it, a seminar on nature and spirituality.
He brings in all sorts of foods for us to snack on, like walnuts, from just down the street that no one even knew about.
And you don't want to put essentially an ornamental tree out by itself. It looks too small.
I think he connects with the students because in some sense he speaks their language.
Perhaps Neuzil best speaks the students' language in his comfort zone, the newsroom.
Test it.
From the TommyMedia.com newsroom.
Here, Neuzil's part of the communication and journalism advising team that trains students
Remember to smile at the end. Okay.
in the rapidly changing world of multimedia journalism.
He uses humor in his bluntness, so at some point you're just kind of like, oh, oh, that was funny, but oh, he really wants me to do that.
You want to see my concept?
He's always there for help whenever you are there to ask him questions. He's very direct. He's not really that threatening as a professor.
So this is your internship here?
Fellow Tommy Media advisor and former newspaper colleague, Professor Mike O'Donnell, marvels at what Neuzil brings to St. Thomas and its students.
I sometimes feel humbled by his output, his writing output, and how he does that with a full class load and with advising and everything. And then he's serving, in the university in administrative roles as well.
In fact, Neuzil's working on his 6th book and has won the Minnesota Book Award. But he truly values the writing experience and how it informs his teaching.
Each time I do that, I learn something. And sometimes that's a lesson I can pass on to the students.
For Neuzil, it's all about St. Thomas students. perfect pitch for a Professor of the Year.
This is not about Mark. This is about his students. This is about his colleagues. This is about how he can be a better colleague, better teacher. That's just generosity. It comes right out of his bones.
The timeless harmony at St. Thomas is the teaching tradition carried on by professors like Dr. Mark Neuzil, who pours his skill and soul into students.
At a place like St. Thomas, where you're rewarded for both teaching, engaging the profession, scholarship that can reflect that, it's a good fit. It's a good fit.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2013 Professor of the Year, Dr. Mark Neuzil.